Hey, what's up, everyone? Past the Jams here, back with another track review. Today we have a special one because it is coming from one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite, Cigarettes After Sex, and they have just released their second single leading up to their third album, Dark Vacay. Dark Vacay is the latest release that just dropped today and is leading up to their third album, X's, which comes out in June. I am so excited about these guys. Lead singer and creator of the band, Greg Gonzalez, is amazing. Texas native, El Paso to be specific, and just amazing music is what he has been creating nonstop throughout these past years since 2014, I believe, when he released his first EP project. And just everything about him, and bassist Randall Miller, a drummer Jacob Tomsky, are very interesting characters themselves, considering the music they make is very toned down, poetic, slow, and everything is essentially about love, heartbreak, very emotional at times. And I mean, like I said, they're one of my favorite bands. I got this tattoo about a year ago now. Cigarettes After Sex is just amazing, and they coming out with this latest track. Really gave me a feel and kind of scope of what this new project is going to be like. They released their first single, Tejano Blue, a couple months ago, and I mean, I consider it to be one of their best tracks they've ever put out. But this one, it is a good track. However, I do think that I fear a little bit for what the album is going to be sounding like, because their sound has been staying the same ever since they came out with their first EP and first projects back in 2012 and 2014. And they're not very much they're not necessarily the most versatile band out there, but I love their music so much because they keep it simple yet effective. There are little things that Greg and the team have done throughout the years that, they throw a little thing here and there to try and make it sound not as, the same as before, to be more original. And I actually applaud that, considering they've been doing it for more than a decade now. And Dark Vacay, it's very straightforward, especially with the production, and it does sound more dreamy, more lively. Kind of, I do appreciate how it sounds a little bit more of their older stuff, and do you have these harmonic vocals in the background whenever the chorus drops. However, everything's very smooth and easygoing. Nothing really too how can I say, experimental like they did with Tejano Blue, with a more upbeat tempo synthesizer, which I do think that they should experiment a little bit more with that. However, like I said, I do understand that they're not necessarily the most versatile out there and want to keep it that way. But with Greg's vocals, there I did notice that they're a little bit more deeper in this track. Not something that's too obvious, but if you do listen to it like in the car or with headphones or with a speaker on your phone, playing out loud, you do notice there's a little bit of a change there. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it for him to expand his vocalization skills, his talent, whatever he can do. I mean, new ideas are very hard to come by. Like I said in my previous video, change is very scary to people, but I think it should be embraced, and especially if you're an artist or in a band, embracing change and experimenting a little bit, tweaks here and there are good for, putting out your content out there and feeling fresh and not necessarily like, oh, like we've heard this already. But no, Dark Vacay is pretty solid. Personally, not as good as Tejano Blue. Tejano Blue is, like I said, one of the greatest tracks they've ever put out. And in terms of the lyrics and the what the song is about, I do have to say that there is. I mean, Greg did kind of walk a fine line at first. I'll give it a pass though. There is mention of him, in the summer. he has been doing drugs and like doing lines and stuff like that. He has been with this person who he loves, but at the same time, he doesn't necessarily like her due to how she conveys herself in such a negative tone. But or perhaps he's talking about himself. Perhaps he's talking about himself in terms of how he sees the world, how the world treats him, or and specifically how his relationships have fallen in the past. uh, and he just wants to perhaps show her that it's okay to see the world crash around you and see everything that you've built fall because he's still going to be there with her, or it's flipped and he is looking for her in that state of mind of how he is negative and stuff like that and seeking help in a way. But yeah, there's a mention of Brazzers. If you don't know what that is, I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, but it's an adult website, and he says like, "Oh, we don't need that." And it's probably the most one of the most corniest lines Greg has written in a track. But I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. It's a good track. It's a good track. Go check it out. Dark Vacay by Cigarettes After Sex just came out today. I'm looking forward to their new album X's that's coming out in June. Super stoked. Hopefully, I could also see them when they come to my town this summer. And anyway, that is the review. Put this in the awesome jams category. Big thumbs up to the band. Hopefully, they come out with another single, maybe two, probably not. But their album does come out in June. Looking forward to it. That is the review. Hopefully, y'all looking forward to the next one. Past the Jam is out.